A lot of you guys have been taking a rest, and they have been talking about the gateways within our system, and they have been also speaking about, hear me out, it's just a way I can correlate it to even understand it in my vibration. Okay, but this is where they started with the message, and then there's always layers to peel apart. Okay, so they had started yesterday with bringing up the 7 deadly sins to me over and over and over again, and gluttony and greed and all of those. Okay, lust, all of it, right? And so I remember 2 days ago when they also told me that the collective heart was awakening. All right, so the collective heart is awakening, and then they started talking to me about the 7 deadly sins, but they were giving me the chakra correlation, okay, to the vibration within the chakra system of those energies, okay, and how some of the collective on this last little squeeze is going through the squeeze of removing those last little delinquencies is the word that's being given to me. Delinquencies, okay? We'll just call them little delinquencies, all right? So those little delinquencies are part of the synchronicities that are showing you what is not to be and what you're not to conform to in the newer, higher dimensional energy that you're assuming and connecting to. So these little instances that may be coming up, all right, are triggered effects to show you how to show up and stay in alignment with the source of a blessing, right? Now we're going back to Thursday's live because they're making me go back there. So forgive me. This is why I can't throw anything out that I write unless they tell me to. Unless they tell me to. This was the message, okay, from the 7th or the 8th, okay, which was last week. And the only place that I'm supposed to speak is this. In days ahead, speak less from fear and more from vision. The more you align with what feels expansive, the more the road will open. That was talking about the collective heart awakening. Okay? Now, choose faith over fixation. Don't obsess over controlling the form of the blessing. Focus on staying in alignment with the source of the blessing. Now, when they said the source of the blessing, you understand that you are the source, but the source of the blessing is source. Okay? So I had to come back to there to be able to go here. All right? So these little things, these little discrepancies that are coming up within thee are only pieces and parts of these gateway systems in our chakra systems that hold the lower level things that are breaking down barriers now of our fullest potential within our gateways. So this is how they led me to, thank you guys for coming in. This is how they led me to the vibration of quote unquote the 7 deadly sins. So they'll always give me a word, but when they give me a word, they're like, yeah, you got to go on an Indiana Jones treasure hunt. You got to peel this away in layers so that you understand how to speak it to the vibration in which we're formulating it to. So these little tiny discrepancies that maybe you have been getting over the last day or two is only about the chakra systems within you, showing you where you might be out of alignment. A lot of people might have been thinking that they were getting attacked. A lot of people might have been thinking that something was hanging onto their back. Hello, Deanna. Thank you. And so this is where that energy might come up inside of you to show you exactly the last little discrepancies within you that are being pulled away from you. Vibrations that you just, when you breathe, you're just like, I can't do that anymore. Like it's that vibration of, I got to take that I can't do that anymore. And that's okay. These are the things, and the things that they're talking about getting you to stay in alignment with the source of the blessing. You're not focusing on the fixation of the why or the how or what it is. You're just fixating on the moment of what it needs to be in your reality to align you with the source of the blessing, but also you being the source of a blessing. It's a universal tandem. Now, the message of today was literally, I don't write in cursive. It is not me. I never liked writing in cursive. Yes, but I always like, I always write in, look, this is how, I write. That's me. I write in print, and I write in all capital letters half the time. When it's cursive, it's not me, because I don't write in cursive. So that's one thing that I've had to see in my own reality of when it's coming through me or when it's coming from me. So I know that because I'm a scribe, when I scribe, whatever comes through me, it, you can even tell here, look, this is print, that's my writing, then it starts into cursive. It's just the way I scribe. It's just the way the energy works through me. So here we go. Grand Rising. Things might seem surprising, but that's only because you... And then I can't read the shit. Okay. Yes, I'll get to the message. Thank you. Things might seem surprising, but that's only because you're... Oh, okay. You're not compromising. Okay? Because you're not compromising. Things might seem surprising, but that's only because you're not compromising. The pulsations, the vibrations, and sensations are revealing to you divine truth coming through. Watch out for naysayers. They will shift as you move through the dimensional rifts. Sorry, I had to literally come back to be able to read that. Okay? Now, what was cool is that they took me to divine truth coming through. And if those of you guys that were here with me, no, that was the other day. This is the message about the divine truth. Although it may be, okay, see, here it is. Okay, some will be uncomfortable pulling away the veils of convenience. Trust that clarity, though is unsettling, is a gift. I love how they just bring pieces and parts back together, right? Okay, here we go. So, the vibrations and sensations are revealing to you divine truth coming through. Watch out for naysayers. They will shift as you move through the dimensional rifts. So you're going to just kind of feel yourself kind of just being pulled, okay, into something else. All right. As you move through these layers, they're just going like this, layers, and they're showing me the CDs. What's cool about this is normally they show me the dimensions like this in alignment, like a whole bunch of CDs, spaced together this much in a jukebox, right? I remember when we used to have the CD holders that you would stack the CDs in, right? I had a couple of those. But then you remember how, like, then they came out with the other ones that you just put the CD in there? Or, like, so that's how they show it to me. They just show me CDs like this. But now what they're doing, which is really cool, is they're taking the stack of CDs and they're moving them in a diagonal way, which means not only are you moving through time-space continuum. Thank you. Holy shit. Okay. This goes back to the time-space continuum being removed. And a lot of you don't know this, and a lot of you weren't here for this that are in this room. But a few of you are. So a few of you remember when I got the message last year about the time-space continuum being ripped away from Gaia. Gaia's tridal sphere of energy, okay? And so outside of Gaia, there's a tridal sphere of energy that comes in. But this energy was blocked. So the energy was coming in, right? And it was just recirculating. Okay, and this energy was coming in and it was just recirculating. It couldn't come fully out because of whatever they related to the time-space continuum being ripped away. So Gaia was only able to filter her energies this way, like within herself, okay? And that's why so many of us were stuck. All right. A long time ago. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. And then what has happened is like last year they told me the time space continuum had been ripped away. So the energy outside of Gaia, then this was pulled, this grid line, this whatever, people call it the firmament. I don't know. They told me it was the time space continuum, which tells me that the man-made structures of time were ripped away in a sense. So then the layers could come through. So then the universal energies could now finally come through fully within Gaia's tritosphere. I hope that makes sense because that's how they broke it down to me a long time ago. And so now it's all the universal energies that are able to come through. And a lot of you guys, yeah, are heavy hitters too, where you guys have been consuming and assuming this energy over the last few days. I know the Schumann's been off the charts, and I know that nobody that is alive now has experienced these energies, especially with the big, the big transits that we're having going now. And so last night, the time space continuum message came up between me and my husband, and I didn't understand it until right now because they always come back in and they will always re-break it down to me in layers to help you guys understand. So now that energy is more of a universal energy, right? More of a universal energy. Remember when they're talking about you don't have to necessarily reach for the energy anymore. It's now more universal energy, more universal light. We're now able, you see, here's the thing too. We were in questioning last night. My husband and I were in questioning last night going, okay, hold on a second. Why is it now that the sun is popping off the way that it's popping off? Never has it popped off the way that it has. So we understand that something on a universal layer is affecting the energy of the sun. It's not just the sun. The sun has to be being affected by something to be the catalyst to have more M classes popping off of it continuously, to then come down, hit Gaia's tritosphere, and now be able to recycle the energy wholly. So remember when we talk about us, ourselves, and the gateways and the seven deadly sins. I love. I can't wait to have this seminar with you guys on September 6th, man. I cannot wait. Yes, I'm going to release it this weekend where you guys can buy early bird tickets. You can buy VIP tickets, okay, to that show September 6th, but it is going to be off the charts. But anyway, this is why now you can feel the shifts and you can feel the rifts so intentionally, is because your gateway system is in alignment and you're no longer on consignment. I don't know if you guys are getting excited, but I'm getting excited, okay? All right. So now the time-space continuum, you're no different, right? You're no different. So if all of your chakras are open and you're consuming the vital energy of the divine authority, okay, rather than recycling the energy within your own tritosphere, the collective heart now is awakening to something that is way bigger than our understanding and understanding of vibration that has been available to us here. I have no control over that. So anyway, this is where you're understanding the energy on such an eternal layer and an external layer, and the vibration of what's going on wholly. Remember, our whole self. My slogan for the business has always been healing mind, body, and soul, one spirit at a time. You are spirit in a body. We heal your mind, we heal your body, we heal your soul, one spirit at a time. Okay? And with that understanding, you have delivered yourself from these frequencies, from these vibrations of the seven deadly sins, and come into alignment with self. So those little indiscrepancies the boundaries, okay, things might seem surprising, but that's only because you are rising and you are not compromising. The pulsations, the vibrations, and the sensations are revealing to you divine truth coming back to you. Watch out for naysayers. They will shift as you move through the dimensional rifts and layers. And the dimensional layers are no longer like this. They're like this. So You're now ascending as you're going through these layers in a completely different way, because the time-space continuum has also been ripped away. So the ascension process on a quantum level, for whatever reason, because of the energies, are different. And that's what they're giving me here today. God bless each and every one of you. Whew, I feel like I went to class. Now I can breathe for a minute. Let me soak that in. You guys know that I have to go back and rewatch what I say, right? My husband goes, "You said that." And I said, "What?" Come on, say what? Like, what? I did what? I said what? He's like, "Yeah, you got to go back and watch." And I'm like, "I guess I do." So every time I get to put it up on YouTube after I do the edits, which is just the intro, the outro, and put a couple cute words on there and get it up there, I watch it too. Because I got to watch what I say. All right. I don't even know what I say half the time. I have to watch it. All right. So I'm so excited. Are you guys excited? I'm so excited. That was not cool. Okay. So now they want me to break this down. Give me a minute. They want me to break this down. And if you guys could give me a little donation or hit the like button or share this out, okay, I would greatly appreciate this, as this is a reciprocal of energy. Thank you for your love, your time as well. So they want me now to dive into earth, air, fire, water. They want me to break it down per sign as we do this. And I'm going to run through this very quickly. So, and then we're going to get into personal healings, okay, and deliverances and revealings and messages, so you guys can get what you need as well before this beautiful weekend comes in and things start to swell for you guys as well. Oh, thank you so much, Deanna. I really do appreciate that. Thank you. You guys, people, see, this is one thing that I had to learn and I had to understand for myself in my own being, in my own sovereignty. It is a true reciprocation of energy, because if you guys actually do what you do to help me in those ways, help the ministry in those ways, I get to show up for you in these ways. And it's not because of anything else, but I don't have to go work a 3D job. That's it. Because I'm not meant to. I'm meant to be here for you and help you through the spiritual identity crisis and the physical. And I know that. I know that. And so it's you guys that help me on the website, on the donations, and everything that you donate, you get to get back when you work through the ministry, and you get that back at the end of the year. That's a part of the reciprocity too. And so I just want you to know that because of your love, because of your donations, because of your gifts and your salvation and your grace, I get to be here for the last 6 years of my life and what the divine has asked me to build. And it's for you. It is not for me. I got to say this yesterday to a young lady, and I said, people don't understand. They don't understand my love and my passion for God. They don't understand my love and my passion for God, that I have a love and a passion and a devotion like no other. And this is not for me. I have to, I get to, and I am true to the authority in which is brought through me. And it's God's table. It's not mine table. The ministry is God's. It's not of me. It is of God that brings it through me to you to help lead you. And I get to be here because of your love and your donations that help sustain the ministry and help me to not have to go work a 3D job, so that we can do what we're trying to build and do and travel. We're trying to travel to you. We're trying to get to your cities. We're trying to get to your towns. We're trying to put hands on you. We're trying to deliver you from these things. And the divine has asked me to do this in these ways, to be able to see you face to face and one-on-one, which means then I got to pull my children out of school and homeschool them, which means then I get to be with my children every day, but I get to help people in the way that God has asked me to deliver and bless and help people, and not stay in one place. I'm not supposed to be in one place, because God's blessing is supposed to be all over the place. And I might be looked at as the blessing, or I might be looked at as the angel, but I am only that way because of what the divine has done for me in my life. You understand that, right? I have faced death 3 times. It is no joke of why I'm here. I get to be here. I get to do this. It's because, yes, I've earned it, but I also was positioned and anointed a long time ago to do this. Just like you are in your ways. Here we go. We're going to go from water, fire, air, and earth. Okay, Pisces. Mm. You're seeing the divine truth of what you always knew. Now it's being revealed to you slowly because you've asked for it to. What's being revealed to you now is something you always knew that was inside of you and that you were to do. What you are seeking is seeking you. Scorpio, your holy desires, which means your wholehearted intentions, your wholehearted wellspring, your wholehearted devotions that you are bringing, okay? Your holy desires is what's about to transpire. The ones that truly align with the love and with the embracement of what you know you are going to be doing, and you feel this connection of pursuing. Okay, so your holy desires are being pulled through. All right. Now, this means so much more than just that, because some of you are in a mindset of one thing when it's 3-dimensional things coming together to provide one wellspring. So there might be collaborations or connections that you're stepping into to help bring through these holy intentional desires. Okay? Cancer. Breakthrough after breakthrough after breakthrough is what has shaken you, but also made you. There is something really deep here about the mother wound. Okay, Cancer, there's something really deep here in the emotional space, okay, that connects to the womb, okay, of the mother. Now, this connection was blocking your connection to the divine mother, and now you have sought redirection, or you're in redirection now. Okay, so like you might have gotten off direction, but now you're in direction with the divine mother. There was some type of, whether it was the generational wound from your mother or whether it was your own mother wound that you were working through, it also, of course, was connected to the womb. And that's what this seminar is going to be on. It's absolutely huge. It is my armed and anointed. It's a little bit of me, and it's a little bit of a seminar completely on armed and anointed in spiritual warfare and the divine feminine womb. So you're not going to want to miss it on September 6th. Tickets will go on sale this weekend. All right. And it will be September 6th. You're not going to want to miss this. I promise you. All right. So this is what they're revealing to me, of that what you've been going through. And that's been part of the release that you've gone through. And now you're in a place where this energy has settled and you broke through that. Okay. You broke through that piece, and it was connected to here and the womb at the same time. And it was something in that generational place. Okay. Now, here we go. We're going to fire signs, all right? And then we are going to hit Aries, Sag, and Leo. We're going backwards, so I always do things backwards to do them forwards sometimes. So here we go. All right. Aries, there's like this sensation of this vibration of this fire within, but it's a very driving force because of the planets that are in alignment, of course, with Leo and so on and so forth. But there's this more, it's very difficult because it's like you feel this, but yet you're also in peace. So there's two different sensations and two different vibrations going on at one time. And it's kind of like, it's messing with the vibration of the heart space is what they're showing me. So it's like irritation and stagnation, but also forward movement at the same time. What they're showing me is it's like you opening, and this goes back to part of the collective message that was the collective heart is awakening more. So you're awakening more to sensation and vibrations, not only in your auric field, but also in your body. When we speak about our body, we have the endocrine system, the skin, the myofascial system that's inside of our tissues, right? And those myofascial system has neurons and protons and basal ganglia and electrons and makes us feel everything. And now they're showing me that there is no real difference between you and the unseen, that you are extra, your extra sensory perception system. That's what it is. The myofascia that encompasses every fiber of every muscle, of every compartment of every muscle. Your extra sensory perception system is the myofascial tissue within your body. Okay. And then what's happening here in this trajectory is now, because you have worked through the Dante's Inferno, the different layers, the different lower vibrations, the different gate systems in that, of course, your vibration becomes more clear. So your endocrine system, your skin, you might see different skin pigments, you might see different colors, you might see different vibrations, your skin might look different, you might look younger. All of that is going on in this system of yours, which now you're feeling everything so intently. So there's a little bit of agitation in the heart space, but at the same time, there's peace. And they're showing me this is the breakthrough that you are going through at this time as you peak. The agitation that's going on is nothing but an outside simulation of the vibration, okay, that is the frequencies that are making you feel the discrepancy within your body sensations. If you want those vibrations to lift, listen to 432 or 444 hertz. Okay, 432, 444 hertz. You need to make sure that your auric field is cleansed and cleared at this time. For whatever reason, Aries, you are being quote unquote energetically magnetized, which makes sense as you rise in vibration. But if you don't take care of your frequency and your codes, okay, is what they're showing me, with all due respect in verbalization, okay, if you don't take care of your frequency, then you are going to get a leaky aura and absorb a lot more of these energies. So it's really important that you guys are devoting yourself to your spiritual obedience of cleansing yourself, taking off your jewelry when you are done for the day and cleansing it. Okay, the talisman, the jewelry that you wear, the energy attaches itself to that. That energy then you carry around, and it is not good for you. Yes, you can put them in salt overnight. Yes, you can leave them in the moonlight. Yes, you can bless them and anoint them and pray over them. Then you can also do whatever it is you do with them. But at the same time, you need to take more care of your energetic auric field right now as you shift through these layers, okay? So that you don't bite the hand that feeds you, is what was said to me, and something was coming through in translation to me, so I needed to slow down and make sure that I got all the message clear. Okay, Aries? All right, Sag, here we go. You feel like something's missing. I'm not kidding. Like, they give me this feeling like something's missing. It's not me. Um, you're the OG, man. You're the original gangster. Sagittarius is the original gangster. Now I have to break this down, because when I get the feeling that something is missing, I have to divine into that even more, because is it, what are we missing, right? What are we missing? So give me a minute. Okay, so there's a piece of yourself that is missing. With all due respect, what I mean by this, within your prism, it's there, but it's missing because you haven't ignited it yet. So now this could relate to an emotion, this could relate to a devotion, this could relate to a certain type of notion that you have, that you feel like you need to do something. Okay, so I just wanted to give context to what I meant by that. So if you've had things that you haven't completed yet, if you have notions, if you have devotions that you haven't followed through with yet, if you haven't done those things for yourself, then you're missing something, because those things are teaching you something else, but yet you're having a hard time believing in yourself at the same time, or you keep putting it on the back burner because it's parts of sabotage of the mind. All right. That was really specific, Sag. Now you're the OG of things, and when I mean you're the OG of things, I mean that you're the original gangster, right? You're the goat of working through things. That's the symbolization of Sag. You climb and 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 you climb, right? Sometimes you climb so incredibly much that you forget to trust. Sometimes that you really put the energy and the time into something, and then you back off of it because you don't trust that when you follow through with it, it's going to prevail. That's old ass programming. That's old programming. That's old programming. Okay. It's like you're two parts. You're a centaur. You are very spiritual, but you're very connected to the earth energy as well, right? Sag is a centaur, and so that has a bow and an arrow. And when you think about this, you are living in two different realities at one time. And you've got to get these things to merge, okay? If you think about it, you got the legs of a horse, right? Okay? And then you've got the upper body of this big, brutal, masculine energy, right? So you really got to intertwine the spiritual with the physical in a very grounded way for you this time, to revitalize these things inside. You're on the right track, whatever that means for the you're on the right track, but it's like you get a little momentum and you stop yourself. You get a little, because there's some part of you all of a sudden that comes in and has some feeling of, maybe you get too tired all of a sudden, or maybe you just had a shit ass day, but then that energy continues, right? And then you don't get back to that thing. And maybe that's the part of you that then self sabotages what you're doing. All right. And this is part of the freeing that you're going through. All right, Leo, here we go. There's been like three different like bursts throughs. Like they just came out like raw, out of the heart space. Okay. You're so soft, Leo. I love your heart, man. You really are soft, true energies, but you give yourself too much in ways that then you don't trust, because you get let down too much. So that it's like you put yourselves in these positions to be let down on purpose, to learn how to trust and discern certain energies. But now you're in a completely different programming, and they're saying you've risen. So a lot of you are going through ascension symptoms right now, especially in the heart space. The heart is so strong because even though it feels like it's burning or feels like it's been cut open, y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. Like when shit goes down, like, do you ever remember being that little kid and like breaking up with the first love of your life, and you remember your heart just like feeling like it had literally just been split wide open, and it's burning and it's gushing, and you just see it like bleeding everywhere inside your body? Okay, that's how like it felt to me on a very deep level, and how in tune I was with my body, I guess, at 7, 8, 9, 10 years old. And my little best friend that I was in love with moved away from me, and my heart just broke. And so literally I felt that way. And every time that I got hurt, it was like I could feel these little check marks, or these little hurts, or these little cuts, or these little scars. But every time it would heal itself. And then over time, I had the same experience later on, right? And it would just be like, oh, well, it just reopened that wound a little bit. And oh, it just reopened that wound a little bit. And so, like, you might have had the same experiences, but that's where you kind of left yourself open. And what they're showing me is you left yourself open in those ways because you have had a hard time now trusting yourself in many different ways in relationships, because what happens is you give to the wrong things, or you've given too much here, Leos. And now you've really learned a lot about boundaries. You've really learned a lot about standing up for yourself. You've really learned about what energy you want to work with in existence here. Now, for some of you, your career is going to advance soon. Whatever that means to you, whether it's building this business or doing this or doing that, your career is going to advance soon. But it's like you want more stability, which is like you want more of a grounded stability of energy. And that's something that you're learning to cultivate for yourself. What makes you stable? What makes you feel grounded? What makes you feel able? And that's what you're working through right now, Leo. All right, Aquarius, there's been a shift, and you're about to. Some Aquariuses right now are about to move, so I don't know. They're saying your wish is granted, and I know that kind of sounds stupid, but it's almost as if like somebody in the room that has Aquarius Sun, Aquarius Rising, okay, North Node, they're no longer compromising, and some wish of theirs is coming true. And I do feel a move for somebody in this room that has this Aquarius placement, okay, in their chart. There's been a brand new revelation of the way that you see something, the way that you believe in something. There, King Arthur, thank you. King Arthur, I don't know, I might have it wrong, but I think King Arthur was the king that put the sword in the stone, because that's what they're showing me. And they're showing me that you've retrieved the sword from King. It was one of the kings. I don't know. I just know that literally the sword, they showed me the sword that you were pulling out of the stone, which also is a signification of not only clarity and direction, but it's also a donation, a divination of, like, it's a symbolization of power. It's a symbolization of great power comes great respect. And it's almost as if like you've got the sword of truth, right? The sword of truth is the knowing that you're connected to in your vibration, the word of truth, the sword of truth. So Aquarius, there's been some perspective shift. There's been something that has allowed you to open up this throat, that has allowed you to speak in truth. It's like you now have gained your sword, you've gained your power back, you've gained some part of wisdom, okay, or knowledge back within you. So this is big for you as well. So they said be proud or stand in that type of awareness. This, they said trajectory system, which only means that you're in alignment. Something had to be proved to you, but it's like you had to prove it to yourself. Okay, Gemini, they're telling me breakthrough after breakthrough after breakthrough, which means there's been 3 cycles that you have left behind, that you're not recycling anymore. So there's been 3 cycles that you're no longer recycling. Okay? This has literally been the past 3 moons. Okay, so from moon cycle to moon cycle to moon cycle. So we just had a full moon. We're about to have a new moon in another week and a half. I think we're going to have a new moon sound bath healing too. I'm not sure. I gotta ask Jose if he's doing that. So anyway, it's like we have that new moon, right? So we just had the full moon. So they're showing me this full moon back to, thank you for the follow and thank you guys for the love. This full moon back to the new moon. And then from that new moon back to the full moon, there has been 3 cycles. There has been 3 moon cycles. Okay? And it was a breakthrough after a breakthrough after a breakthrough. All right, for you guys, Gemini, moon, sun, rising, north node. All right, so something was exposed to you, Gemini. Now, you could see this as a spiritual inheritance where it's some type of revelation, right? Some type of realization, some type of spiritual attunement or alignment, right? When you have those breakthrough after breakthrough after breakthrough. But those things that you went through were for your soul's gratitude and your soul's evolution to move through whatever you went through those last 3 moon cycles, that you were choosing no longer to beat you or fight you. It's not that you gave in to them, you just surrendered them to God, is what they're showing me. Grand Rising, I love you, Karen. Bless you and your family and your son. And this is where now this revelation begun, is what they're showing me here. This was big, Gemini, because it was cycle after cycle after cycle. And you finally surrendered to it to no longer recycle it, which means you finally are done with it. You finally are done with it. It's done. And this was big for you because now this has allowed you to move into more of a captivating energy. There are things that are captivating your attention now, Gemini. And they're also these things that are captivating your attention about yourself, or about others, or about things that you want to do or create, are helping showing you how to love yourself even more on a very deep, profound level of truth and rawness that you always felt like you could get to, but you didn't know how to reach that level, Gemini. So this is very deep for you, all right? Libra. Okay. They said a shakeup and a makeup. This could be relationship. This could be a friendship. Doesn't have to be an intimate relationship. It could be a friendship, but there's been a shakeup, makeup, something of that nature that's come here, whether it's even been within you and your own energy. Like maybe you were shook up with the last couple days of the energies in the Schumann and you didn't feel like yourself, and now you're starting to feel like yourself, and now you're starting to feel like you're kind of put back together again. So this could be in different ways. Okay, the shake-up and the makeup, it could be even in a relationship context, where something was shook up, okay, to be put back together again is the best way, or to make things right again. Maybe somebody was shook and they have to make things right to you. Maybe you have to make things right to someone. I don't know. I just know that there was this shake-up to make up, all right? Libra, there's also this childlike energy around you that's kind of like trying to connect to yourself. So it's a very creative, playful energy that's trying to connect with you. All right. Libra, this is a balance. This is a truth. There's something that is inside of you that is trying to connect to the okay, to the divine's truth of what you knew in a very childlike way, but now they're showing it to you in an adult way. All right. Now there's something that's shifted within your energy, and you feel like it's also shifted outside of you. So Libra, there's been, maybe your eyes have been revitalized. Maybe the what you're seeing and how you're seeing it looks more colorful, it looks more playful. There's a lot of creative energy around you right now. And a lot of people would call it, child play or childlike connection, okay, that type of stuff. But it's where you're in a place of just feeling free, and you're in a place of being that authentic self of whatever it is that you are in that moment. Okay, so it's like if you're mad, you're mad. If you're happy, you're happy. If you want a slushy, you want a slushy. If you want, some M&Ms, you want some M&Ms. It's like if you want to go down the slide, then you go down the slide. If you want to go to the water park, you go to the water park. You're reconnecting with the freedom in which you once felt as a child, which is balancing these things and bringing you justice to multiple different things right now. Um, someone was mistaken about you, Libra. That's what I do know. Someone was mistaken about you. Okay, something could have happened during Mercury retrograde where there was a shakeup, and then there's a makeup coming around the corner. But somebody was mistaken about you too. All right, Libra. All right, here we go. Capricorn. Hmm. Okay, I have to give you the vision in which they gave me. First of all, they said there is a new light shining through. Now, when they showed me this in vision, they gave it to me as if it were the moon card, okay? And they showed me the moon card. Give me a minute. And they showed me the two towers, of course, on either side of you. And they showed me the moon. Now, normally on the moon card, the moon's over you or, right in front of you. But actually, in this one, the moon was behind you. And there was no more looking back. There was no more reflections. It was like whatever you have given yourself intrusive energy to, obsession to, patterns of behaviors that didn't allow you to see your divine favor. Thank you, Holy Spirit. Okay, is no longer, you're no longer looking at it. It's no longer above you. It's now behind you. Okay. Now, this is also teaching you how to do something different with the energy of the past, okay? So not when it comes up again, but you're using this energy to fuel something that is something that means something to you in which you want to do. It's like two things are coming together here for you, Capricorn, all right? Some experience in the past, some wisdom, some knowledge, some granted access that you have of the past is now coming back up in forward motion here. And it's whatever this is, it's in the past, but it's going to help you with something that the divine is aligning for you right now at this time. Okay? Virgo, you guys have been an emotional wreck. Okay. Your energy has been heightened and it has become advanced. Okay? So for you guys in your systems, all right, your energy has been heightened and you now have become advanced. Did some of you make a wish on the meteor shower? Virgos. Did somebody that is a Virgo, sun, moon, rising, north node, did you make a wish? They said wish upon a star. So what they showed me though is it wasn't one star, it was something with the meteor showers. So it's almost as if like you were making a wish during the media shower. Okay, Virgo? There's also been a close encounter of something here, so that's personal to somebody. There's been a close encounter of something. Okay? There's a connection, Virgo, that's being brought forward to you. So it could be of a soulmate connection. Now, soulmate does not always mean lover in vibration, it can mean someone who is really there to be friends with you. Okay? But there is a soulmate connection coming through. Now, there is a new direction coming through for you as well, Virgo. Some of these are very specific. 313 and 33 are numbers that are coming up for you as well, Virgo, for confirmations. They're also giving me 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so some of you may have been seeing that information there. Okay, Virgos. All right. there's a heaviness, Taurus, or an overwhelming type of energy that was just laid off of me. So there's something that this overwhelming or this burdening of energy is like, it just completely lifted off of me, which is in relation to you, Taurus. So there's some type of overburdening, right? They're talking about the yoke, and the yoke is what is the wood that they keep around the oxen's neck. And so they're talking to me about, it's like something has been laid down, something that's been bothering you, something that's been overburdening you, something has been laid down. Okay? Now they're asking me to ask you, when you laid it down, did it really even make a sound? No, but yet it was so hard for you to ground. No, but it was so hard for you to ground. The Sirius star had a big activation on you this time. Venus conjunct Jupiter in Sirius and Sirius. So I want you to understand how big that is, because Venus rules Taurus. Venus conjunct Jupiter, which has to do with things that you dream, legacies, financial structures, careers, networking, all of that. That's what Jupiter rules. Venus conjunct Jupiter, okay? Also conjunct Sirius star. And that is literally the shift that you may be feeling that you're into destiny. Okay. Of course, they're showing me the North Star, your North Node, which is telling me that you're in that energy of alignment in your North Node. Taurus, there's been assumptions. So I don't know if you've assumed or if others have assumed, but whatever that is, it's all working in favor to you, because you already know that the divine is going to do as it does and do as it needs to do. But they just want you to know that there has been like assumptions of things around you, and those assumptions might even get you to assume, because you may just be reflecting the energy of what's around you. So in hindsight 2020, if you're in alignment of energy and you have people around you that don't perceive as you do, don't believe as you do, aren't in alignment with that type of frequency, then therefore it's like they pull down that frequency. When they pull down that frequency, you can't rise to what you're trying to do. So then therefore those things are separated and parted from you. So just know that whatever that is that you've been feeling, they said you've been feeling it in different layers or heavy layers, and that's going to be finally breaking through. Okay, a lot of that has to do with Mercury, so I'm sure that you guys don't truly know a lot about this, but Mercury, when Mercury goes into retrograde, a lot of the times, especially with Chiron, we had Chiron in retrograde and Saturn. Hello, Erica Joe, thank you so much. When we have Mercury going into retrograde, this also is why not people come back from the past, but what happens is that you assume, you have these assumptions that somebody's out to get you, or that somebody's doing you dirty, or that da 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 da, because that's the energy that's being projected out there towards you in the collective for you to clean up those wounds. It's that plain and simple. So there were a lot of things that was going on during this Mercury retrograde because of Chiron. And 9 times out of 10, when you're feeling that energy, it's because there is something going on like that to show you or show the other person where the wound is, so that you can move through that. So a lot of people don't even understand sometimes why Mercury retrogrades are so heavy. Well, this is why they say if you haven't necessarily done shadow work, Mercury will put you in position to do those things and to remove those things. And so that's been a lot of the energy that you have gone through too. And so the assumptions are now falling off here of you as well, Taurus, is what they're saying. Hey, what's going on, Mama? How are you? And so I love you so incredibly much, Mama. And so this is where the vibration of what you're bringing through can't be in stagnation any longer. Oh, that's beautiful. So they showed me these, do you guys remember the Sonic video game and the rings from Sonic? Okay. And they gave me 3 rings in a row. But what was interesting about, the Sonic rings, right? But what was interesting about these Sonic rings is that they were like this. So it was like a breakthrough. Okay. So they gave them to me where the bottom was broken out. So it's like you've broken through those things about yourself, okay? Or you have seen those things and now you understand certain plays, that were going on. So that's like a lot of the clarity too that you've been brought into. Your focus, your drive, and your passion are changing through your transformation right now. So every opportunity that is brought to you, divine on that opportunity and see where it is that the divine is aligning you as well. Okay?